Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate today's hearing. You've given a good rundown on the other bills on the agenda, but I want to speak to S.4365, which is our Veterinary Services to Improve Public Health in Rural Communities. It would authorize the Indian Health Service to offer public health veterinary services, including spay and neuter services to tribes, to help reduce the number of stray dogs in Native communities. The overpopulation of stray and abandoned dogs in Indian country is a significant public health and safety issue. More than 250,000 reservation dogs, as they're often called, roam the Navajo Nation alone. I've introduced S.4365 because Alaska Native children experience the highest incidences of hospitalization from dog attacks than any other group in the nation, and we need to deal with it. According to IHS data, an average of 4,800 tribal members are hospitalized or receive outpatient care from dog bites each year. Some studies indicate that tribal areas experience a death rate from dog attacks that is 35 times higher than the rest of the nation, and most of these cases are either in Alaska or on the Navajo Nation. Even a non-fatal dog bite comes with serious emotional, economic, and public health costs. Dog bites can, of course, transmit rabies, parasites, and other zoonotic diseases. And I'm with you on the zoonotic diseases. I think we get rabies, right? Parasites. But they transmit diseases to humans and unvaccinated animals. Medical treatments can be terrifying for children and elders, often involving significant time away from home and a series of painful rabies shots. Under current law, the IHS lacks sufficient legal authority to carry out veterinary services directly or in partnership with a tribe under a 638 self-governance agreement. And we know that because at least two tribal organizations in Alaska tried to add veterinary services to their multi-year funding agreements, they were denied by IHS. So my bill would address this gap in health services by amending Indian Healthcare Improvement Act to state clearly that public health veterinary services are an authorized service of the IHS. And that way, these services can be included in a tribe's funding agreement under ISDIA. The bill would also allow the IHS to assign veterinarians commissioned by Public Health Service Commission Corps to IHS service areas where rabies are endemic. Note, there is no requirement that IHS assign such officers. It only authorizes it as yet another tool in the toolbox when we absolutely need it. Dogs have significant historic and cultural ties in Alaska Native communities. Individuals and families depend on their dogs, and when that relationship becomes distressing or disturbing for any reason, like a rabid dog in a village requiring all of the dogs in the village to be euthanized, it can be a source of great trauma. So we've got to get some help here. My office worked with a number of tribal members and organizations in drafting this, and I'd like to recognize one person in particular for his efforts, and that is Donald Charlotte. Don is a former musher and a tribal leader of Nenana Native Village. He pushed for passage of 3 resolutions by the Alaska Federation of Natives calling attention to the lack of veterinary care in Native communities. Don's leadership on this issue helped us produce a bill that is supported by organizations like the Alaska Federation of Natives, Alaska Native Tribal Health Consortium, as well as the American Veterinary Medical Association. This is a common sense piece of legislation that ensures the federal government lives up to its trust obligations while providing a humane, non-lethal option for animal population control. So I'm looking forward to hearing from our witnesses today on not only my bill, but on those of the others before the committee.